So the last thing that we have to talk about is writing expressions from words. So obviously you can see I have all these words and I need to write it like we did in Simplified on that first several lessons. So first we need to talk about some other words that go with our main operations. So one of the first and easiest that we talk about is adding. Obviously they can use adding as a word. They could also use the word plus. They could also use the word sum. They could also use more than. So any of these words are going to signal addition. Okay, my next one is different or is subtracting. Plus goes with minus, so minus is a popular one. Sum goes with difference. We usually hear those together. And then we also have, obviously, the opposite, are less than. Multiplication, we have times. We have the word product. The word of. And then we have these words that when we multiply by 2, 3, 4, so on, the word double is a multiplication word. The word triple is a multiplication word, so on and so forth. Division. Obviously, we can see the word divide. The word quotient. That's usually our hardest word. And they can also say split. If we're going to split the bill in half, you're dividing it by 2. There aren't really many words for grouping for parentheses, but you will see that we'll have to use parentheses in context, essentially. So our first several are just generic, using words, not real life situations. And if you look, I gave you examples of some 1-steps and some 2-steps. So let's start with our 1-steps. I'm going to underline our keywords. The sum of a number and 5. Sum means to add. We have it right up there. Then we go in order. They tell us a number. We don't know that number, so we're going to use n for number and 5, so it's plus 5. 40 times a number. Times means to multiply. There are several different ways we can show this. We can use symbols. The biggest thing is do not use the letter x as multiplication because we're working with variables and x can be a variable. So 40 is first. Since we're just multiplying it by a number, we can just set them side by side. Anytime they're directly next to each other like this means that they're multiplying. The quotient of a number and 10. Quotient was our divide. Again, we need to go in order. We can say n divided by 10, but we can also put it in a fraction. A fraction is also telling us to divide. So n divided by 10 is the same thing. Okay, now let's look at our 2-step. So it says 5 more than twice a number. So 5 more than is 5 plus. Twice and double are very similar words. So twice means 2n, twice a number. It is 2 steps because we have addition and we have multiplication. 6 less than 6 times a number. I should have used a different color there. Okay. 6 less than actually goes out back. You're taking 6 away from 6 times a number. 6 times a number means multiplication, so I'm going to do 6n. Okay, here's the next one. The product of 5, should say and R, divided by 3. So I have to do the product first. The product multiply of 5 and R. So there's my 5R. Then it tells me I need to divide it by 3. So we're dividing all of that by 3. Okay, so now let's look at our real life situations. We're still looking for those keywords. Eric took the amount paid P and divided it between the 3 workers. So Eric took the amount that was paid, P, and he's going to divide it between his 3 workers. You could also write it in fraction form, which is P divided by 3. They doubled their points P, then spent 80. So again, doubling the word twice, that means multiplying by 2. So doubling their points, 2 times P. And if they're spending money, that means it's going away. So that's a minus 80. The 2 friends put their babysitting and lawn money together. They then split it. Now, this one you really have to use context clues. So if I'm putting it together, I'm adding it. So we're taking my babysitting money and we're adding my lawn mowing money. Then they want to split it. They want to split all of it. So here is a good parentheses, a good grouping one, because they aren't just going to split the babysitting. They're not just splitting the lawn mowing. They're splitting all of it. So by putting parentheses, it's holding those 2 together. Splitting means to divide. They didn't tell you at the very end how many, but they, again, context clues, going back to LA, they tell you 2 friends, so I'm going to divide by 2.